Good afternoon and welcome to another Mortgage Minute. I am actually co-hosting today with Michael Levine as I wanted to discuss a very interesting event that happened where Mike Levine from First Team Mortgage was able to save a deal and save a transaction for one of our agents at Remax First Realty 2, where the borrower and buyer was denied a loan from another lender. So I love when this happens. This is part of obviously why we have First Team Mortgage to save deals and help our clients and service them a lot better. But there's nothing more exciting to me than when I hear that someone couldn't do it, we did it, and really gave the customer a great experience and ultimately helped them into a home. So Mike, this was a deal with Tanya Eatman in the office, recently closed. Can you kind of unpack to us what the issue was that led the other lender to deny the loan that then went over to you and was able to close?
Sure. It was one of the larger banks, and I got a call from Tanya, and she said, "Can you speak to my client? He got turned down by XYZ Bank." And this is a bank you probably passed 10 of them on your way to work, very well known. And I quickly spoke to the borrower, found out what the issue was. Turns out that the bank was looking at their income. There was an income issue. It had to do with overtime and the fact that he's a variable income employee, and the bank was just not willing to go the extra mile to get the information they needed to be comfortable that he qualified from an income standpoint. So I saw it. I said, great. Let me do this. I know I can get this done. He really makes this money, and I'm going to show it to the lender. And we were able to do that. And in the end, we closed. He got a better rate than he was going to get at the other bank. So Tanya, the realtor, looked good for getting it closed, and everyone was happy, except maybe the big bank. And honestly, I don't really think they cared about losing the loan. And that's the difference. We do care.
If they denied it, I think they weren't even following up at that point. Were you tooting your horn a little bit there, Mike, that not only did you get it closed, but they also got a better rate?
Yeah. That's a theme these days. We have very, very competitive rate.
So I have a question for you. Great job, by the way. A lot of lenders, whether it's brokers or institutional banks, a lot of lenders shy away from loans that were denied previously. Obviously, there's a hiccup. There's something wrong. Why is it that? How do you feel about loans that were denied previously?
I really like them. I like, look, everybody likes being the hero, right? I could do something that somebody else couldn't. So from an ego standpoint, yeah, it's great. But really, I want to show somebody that that we did a good job for them, that we could help them out. And I think that one of the reasons why we can do this is because we're brokers and we have more access to more lenders, and we can match it up with what they need. It's not just one bank, one shot at it.
Got it. So it's going to lead to my last question. As a broker versus a bank, an institutional bank, what are the pros and cons or benefits of working with a broker, would you say?
Yeah. Well, by the way, going back to your last question, getting a loan after it's under contract and underway, and not having the 12 pre-approvals and the rejections and all that, having a deal that's set and ready to go. The pressure's on. We got to get it closed. The seller still wants their money, but we do love those deals, yes, and getting them done.
Right.
As far as what we have as brokers, it comes down to this. When we get loans that start at another bank and we finish them, it basically is one of three different reasons. Number one, we as brokers have a lot of products. For instance, if somebody doesn't qualify from an income standpoint on a conventional loan, we have a bank statement loan. Some of the larger banks don't have that, or most of them don't have that. So we can do those. The other thing is bank overlays. We had a situation a number of months back, one of our other agents, where a very qualified person, was going through the process, and he wanted to put 5% down, or only had 5% down to put down. the bank changed their rules. They said minimum 15% down. That was an overlay. It's something where they're being stricter than Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac requires. We didn't have that overlay. We were able to take them in, get them closed in a couple of weeks. It was perfect. So that's reason number two why we may be able to do a loan that somebody else can't, is overlays. Because if we have one lender that has certain overlay, we probably have another lender that doesn't. So it's a matter of us knowing who to go to and who has those overlay and the stricter requirements.
I'm going to stop you for a second, Mike. Overlays, please just break that down for agents in 10 seconds. What are overlays?
Yeah, an overlay, most banks for a conventional loan, they underwrite to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac standards. However, the bank itself is allowed to be stricter than those guidelines. They can't be more lenient, but they are allowed to be stricter. And especially through times of COVID, a lot of these lenders instituted these overlays. It could be a minimum credit score. It could be a minimum percentage down. It could be a maximum debt to income ratio. It could be anything that's stricter than what Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac requires. And that is a big deal, because if you don't know your overlays, you're bound to trip up on them. Okay?
Got it.
And then the third reason would strictly be an underwriter interpretation. You get at a bank, you get an underwriter, they're particularly strict or about something, and they're just looking at something, they're interpreting something in a different way. If that's the case, we can take it in, and we know which lenders are going to work with us to, if possible, to try to get that loan done, and not just say, boom, you're denied. So that's the third category of, let's say, deals that start elsewhere that finish with us.
Excellent. So, Mike, I appreciate this. I appreciate you helping and saving the deal. I know Tanya Eatman does. She was very grateful. Her clients, I'm sure, were very grateful. We enjoy these. Selfishly, it's like you mentioned, being the hero, coming in and saving the day and solving the problem, right? There's a problem on the deal, being able to fix it. There's a lot of joy and fulfillment across the board for everyone involved when these things happen. So we want to thank you. So guys, if you ever have a deal that has been denied from another broker, from an institutional lender, whatever type of lender it is, don't hesitate to reach out to Mike, reach out to Joe. Definitely throw it by us. Let us look at the file. We may be able to save it. This is not the first time this has happened. Early on, I think in our first month, I remember Joe saved one where I was actually on the listing side, and the outside agent allowed us to salvage it, and we were able to. So it's not the first. It's definitely not the last. I want to thank you again and thank Tanya Eatman for giving you the opportunity, and just glad that we got our client into the home. And the icing on the cake was that you got the client a better interest rate. So
well, here's the real icing on the cake. I got a call from his sister last week. She wants to buy a house.
Awesome. Yeah. That is additional icing, maybe a topping on the cake.
That's right.
Great job, Mike. Appreciate all your efforts and appreciate walking us through some of the reasons why these loans get denied. But that doesn't mean that the client cannot buy. So do not give up on those clients, guys. It's sometimes just shopping them around to a different lender that can make the world of a difference. So again, Mike, thank you for your help, for your insight, and we'll definitely talk about the next one soon.
Thanks for being here today, Olivia.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Guys, every Thursday, Mike's on. Today we did adjust the schedule a little bit, but every Thursday, tune in to Mike at 10 a.m. And any questions, always write them in the chat group, even after if you're watching this on a replay. Don't hesitate to reach out. We appreciate your attendance and your support. Mike, thanks again, and we will see you guys on the next Mortgage Minute.
Bye, all.
Bye-bye.